unbelievable dedication that you have spread through your leadership, through your commitment, and most importantly, your compassion at Havens, a great American. Hear, hear.
Mr. South Windsor, aptly called, what an incredible legacy of service for the community of South Windsor. Personally, can't thank you enough for the relationship that we had, not only as mayor, but prior to that as a businessman in the community, and everything that you did. You know, when you're a milkman, you get to know an awful lot of people.
Why was I successful in politics, if you call it that? I enjoyed politics. I started here in South Windsor, and I had a little taste of it in East Hartford just to whet my appetite. But when I moved to South Windsor, I got immediately involved.
Let me go back. I was the mayor, and one of the people on the council with me, a Democrat, took a job out of town, and there was a vacancy created. So Eddie Havens and I were good friends, and I got the Democratic Town Committee to appoint Eddie to fill the vacancy. And twice before and got beat every time.
Yeah.
And Eddie's been on it
Yeah.
ever since.
Yeah.
I created a monster.
But anyhow, I enjoyed the work. I enjoyed serving people, and I enjoyed the responsibility was great. I didn't mind that if someone wanted something done, I'd be the first one to say yes. And that's how I started out my political career.
Eddie Havens is somebody that I met a very long time ago, and I was involved in some issues in town, and he approached me after a town council meeting and talked to me about getting involved in politics and maybe running for office at some point.
I think it was because he is truly sincere. He likes people. He likes people in his community, and people responded to that, and they felt the commitment in him.
That I had accommodated people. People had a problem, I would help them solve it. But throughout the community, if anybody needed a hand or needed help or needed a little help with some for example, some assistance in one of their fundraising, who would they come to? They'd come to me.
Eddie has been so much about family, community, kindness, and even when he would actually be upset at something, he would remain very kind and very focused and caring towards people. And in the end, we would actually personally go to individuals we had disagreements with and then say, you know what, this is how I feel, and I want to make sure you're not hurt, and this is why I said what I said. And it would be extremely polite during the meeting and after the meeting. And then we don't have people like that anymore.
My father brought the mechanical knowledge, the construction skills, dealing with builders, the plumbing side mostly, and the service side. Ed brought business skills, all the day-to-day business things and how to run a business. And that's basically how it started. My father went to work every day. He was the first one here every single day. And they're both here every single day. Never, ever missed any work. Always took care of their customers. Always paid attention to every phone call. And that's how they became successful.
Eddie was always steady. I mean, that was a great thing about it. You could count on him. He was thoughtful, and he was dependable, and honest and true.
My mother was an immigrant from Ireland, and she brought some of those traits here, and she was a widow for a number of years, and I helped her. She helped me, and I just followed it. I guess I followed it. She set the example, not even knowing it, and I just followed it. Mm-hmm. And I just liked people. That's the bottom line. I felt that taking care of people and being the way I am came from my mother. My mother. There's no question about it. And how just the way she was, and that's the way I was. That's how I ended up.
Eddie Havens has been a very valuable member of Rotary. He's also been a very valuable member of town government in South Windsor. He'll be very missed when he retires, and I certainly wish him well. He's done very well in both categories. So it was very easy to get on with, and he was he would always explain himself, and he just was an all-around good person.
Ernie, nice to hear from you again. Brings back old times. By the way, do you still have a license for pharmacy? I can use a druggist, you know.
When I was with the Park and Rec department, he was a true supporter and friend of our department. Politically, when he was involved on the town council and as mayor, and also philosophically, just to kind of, always had the interests of the residents in mind, and how to enhance their quality of life. And he thought that our department fit that bill, so he was always very, very good to us, including his generous support as a sponsor for the egg hunt. He'd been with us probably for 25, 30 years, sponsoring that annual egg hunt. But we weren't the only ones. He did that across the town, to the sports groups, to community organizations. The man was a giver.
To get along with everyone, you just have to be very cooperative, show that, and listen to both sides of any situation, and use your common sense to get along. And most of the times you're only you're doing what most people want.
Eddie listens to people. Eddie's always available to talk to people, and Eddie does what he thinks is in the best interest of the town, and he puts politics aside.
Oh yes, I have to attribute any of my success to my wife, because she gave up her time for me, and certainly some of the responsibility of raising a family fell upon her. It's most of that success to her, because she saw that I liked it, loved it, and cared for people, and then wanted to serve. I wanted to serve the community. Didn't even know that, but I wanted to serve the community.
In the early days of campaigning, besides going door to door, canvassing the neighborhood, we would do a mailing. My father would get a list of all the registered Democrats, and as a family, we would gather at the dining room table to do a mass mailing. The list was divided by streets, and we would handwrite, stuff, and stamp hundreds of envelopes containing my father's pamphlet on where he stood on the issues, but also including information on the whole Democratic team. He was definitely a team player. It took so many hours, so many evenings, but we were happy to do it for him.
Hey Pete, this is John Mason here, the big reporter. You know, I saw you a couple weeks ago. Tell him I know you better than he knows you. Anyhow, it's good to see you, and I still have your phone number, so let's give each other a call again, okay? Hey Pete, don't forget, see you in church when we get to church together.
I've always had a great relationship with my grandfather. He's always been there for me, to give advice. He's done a lot in his life. World War II veteran, started his own company. He was the mayor, so there's a lot of knowledge there. So I'd always have questions for him, about just, little tips on how to proceed in life, really. So it's always been good getting all those stories from him in his past. And even now, just going over to his house to hang out with him and just spend some quality time together.
Much more political. I mean, everyone seems to take sides and stay with them, regardless of the goods and bads of both sides. I know something. There's no difference now, in my opinion, from it was 35, 40 years ago. All you had to do was get along, do a good job, and be fair to everybody. It's that simple, in my opinion. And listen to everyone. It's really that more difficult now than I would say that many years ago.
Hi, Eddie Havens.
Eddie Havens.
Hi, Eddie. He's a super guy.
Yeah.
Real nice guy. And important to what South Windsor has become.
Didn't make any difference. Yes, you ran against so-and-so. But when it was all over, everybody just came together and worked. The politics was over. It made a huge difference, I thought. And it brought the town into being what it is now.
But first off, I enjoyed the work. I enjoyed working with people, with the public officials. Whether it's the activity, I miss the people in government. I miss government a lot. But I think I miss that as much as anything. But I miss all the activity and all the people I knew.
Here is to Ed Havens, 96 years young. Ned Lamont here. I just want to celebrate your public service, community service, 40 years, mayor, deputy mayor, town council, South Windsor. It's folks like you that help our state prosper and grow. It's folks like you who care so much about your community every day, what you do in your public life and what you did in your private life. I understand the fuel distribution and plumbing business, Imperial Oil and Plumbing. Not only did you provide a service for people, you took care of those who weren't able to take care of themselves by providing them some extra support. For that, we are all thankful. That's why we're here to cheer you on today, my friend.
And being involved in the community was no work to me. It was strictly an act of caring about my community. I'd be glad to do it again twice over.